Have you ever felt like you're shouting into the void as you try to get noticed and grow your business online? I know that I certainly have. When I first started my business, I felt like I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall and trying to see what would stick. The struggle is real and something that so many small business owners deal with. So let's take a collective deep breath together, knowing that you aren't alone, and go over what you can do to help you cut through the noise. Hi there, I'm Alli, and I help entrepreneurs like you elevate your brand and online presence so that you can connect with your dream clients quickly and confidently and ultimately make more money in your business. And whether you're just starting out or you're looking to refine your strategy, there are some actionable steps that you can take to start building your brand and gaining some traction online. We all know that starting an online presence can be overwhelming. One of the things that I hear new entrepreneurs say most often is that they don't even know where to begin. Should they start with a website? Should they start with social media or email marketing? There are so many directions and options that you could take that you can become paralyzed by all of the choices. One thing's for certain though is that you have to be present online in business today. But it's not just about being visible. It's really about connecting with your audience and building trust and driving sales. In our digital age, you absolutely have to be online in some form or fashion. It's really not an option anymore. If you aren't, you're kind of invisible. So let's dive into what you can do. The first thing is to set clear goals, because without goals, you don't know where you're headed. Think of your goals as your roadmap. Instead of wandering, you're going to know exactly where you're heading. You'll want to use the SMART criteria. So SMART is an acronym, if you haven't heard of that before, for goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, a SMART goal might be to increase your web traffic by 20% over the next 3 months. Another goal might be to generate 50 new leads using your social media campaigns over the next 6 months. Or maybe you want to increase your brand visibility by being featured in 5 industry-related blogs this year. To create a goal-setting plan, start by writing down all of your objectives and then break those down into smaller tasks and give yourself deadlines. You can use tools like Trello, or I personally love Asana, for setting up tasks and deadlines and making sure that I'm checking over those deadlines and tasks throughout the year as I move forward to see where I'm at on my goals. Next up is to understand your audience. Who are they? What do they care about? What kind of content can you create to help connect with them and meet them where they're at? You need to know things like their demographics and their behaviors and their interests, but you also need to be really tuned in to what their pain points are around the problems that you solve. It's always a good idea to be interviewing your audience. And if you don't have an audience, to be finding people who you want to be your audience and ask them what their pain points are. What are they struggling with? How can you help them? What kind of content can you be creating to better reach them? It's also really good to keep looking at your competition, not so that you feel bad about where you're at in your own business, but to see what they're doing and what's working for them. Once you know who your audience is and who you're going to be directing your content to, you need to decide where you're going to show up. So there are tons of social media platforms, like there's Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and so many more. Then there's also content platforms like here on YouTube or podcast or your blog. So choose platforms that meet your goals and where your audience is going to be at as well. If you're targeting professionals and you're wanting to generate leads, then LinkedIn might be a great platform for you. If you're more interested in creating visual content and maybe have a younger audience, then Instagram might be a better platform. Step 4 is to develop a content plan. So some people hate having a plan, but if you don't have a plan, it's going to be that much harder to achieve your goals. Having a solid content strategy set up is going to get the planning out of the way so that you know what you're posting, when you're posting it, and you can get it done so that you can spend more time actually being present on the platforms you're showing up on and engaging with your audience. When you can create quality content and show up in a consistent way, you're going to stand out from all of your competitors. You want to create content that aligns with your audience, what they're looking for, and how they best receive information. Videos, for example, are a great way to gain credibility and trust really fast. Also, they're a great way to storytell. If your audience loves to listen on the go, podcasts are a really great form of content. Social media is always a great place for quick engagement and updates, and blogs tell more in-depth content. So when you have a content calendar in place of what kind of content you're going to create and when you're going to post it, it's going to make your life so much easier. You don't want to be scrambling at the last minute trying to figure out what to do. That makes it so that you're not doing anything at all. So create a plan and stick to it as best you can. Once you've taken this plan and you've started implementing it and you're taking action and showing up, you really need to monitor how it's working. You have to know what's working and what's not. You got to look at those analytics and numbers, because this is going to help you make sure that all the time you're spending creating content is well worth it. You need to see what's working so that you create more content that does the same. If you notice that one platform is driving a lot more traffic than another, then maybe it's worth spending more time there. The key really is to be flexible and to learn and keep making shifts and changes as you move forward. Building an online presence can be intimidating at first, but it'll be much more simple if you can break it down into actionable steps like this. And just remember that you have flexibility to change things up as you're learning and growing, and make it fun. Because really, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. And you really do need a system in place that is going to help you be found among all of the sea of others who do the same thing that you do. And that's exactly why I have a free on-demand training for you to watch called Booking Clients and Making Bank in 30 days or less. You're going to learn how to create an online presence that attracts your dream clients and gets them saying yes to your offer. Head over to dowelldesignstudio.com/training and get immediate access.